Hey guys, this is Dorcas with Dolphin DC Creations. I am uploading some older videos that I had not been able to get to edit because I hadn't been feeling well. So this will be a two-part video. This video is about a journal that I made for a swap for Junkers Co-op. Enjoy! Hey guys, Dorcas here with Dolphin DC Creations. I am working on a journal for one of the groups I'm in. This one is for Junkers Craft Co-op. And I'm stepping in because someone was unable to fulfill their swap. And so I'm going to go ahead and make a time journal, which is the theme for this month. And so I've had this awesome Tim Holtz fabric, Electric Elements, and I was going to use it for an Alice journal, but this is just very perfect. And then I also have a paper pad of Graphics 45 that I'm going to use. I went ahead and I used a recycle paper bag. This is a bag from a local restaurant here called Garcia's, and they bring me food and I love them and it's awesome. And so I went ahead and I opened up the bag. I cut out the bottom and the top, and it is doubled. And then in the spine, it is actually 4 layers of the same bag. But this gave me some nice pockets here. And on the inside, I'm going to use this gel. This was from when I was gel printing, but this is where I cleaned off my brayer. And then I added some of the Delusion sprays, the Tim Holtz Delusion sprays. Are they Tim Holtz? No, they're not. Well, they're Ranger. They're Ranger. And some of the Ranger Delusion sprays, and that's where the black came from. And then I had some copper in here, just where I was cleaning off my brayer. And I'm going to put this here on the inside of the journal. And the one thing I don't know is I have to audition some papers because I need to know if this piece should be the bottom part here, which was what I cut off. This was a manila folder that I cleaned off my brayer on. See on the back, it's got another. This was a bad idea. This didn't work out well. And so I'm going to put that there. And I don't know if I'm going to put this here or if I want to use some of the Graphics 45 paper that I'm going to use in this journal. This other back side is going to have this one where I also cleaned off the brayer, but then I came back in with some alcohol inks and some additional copper paint, and I went over it a little more to make sure that it was, fully fleshed out. So I'm going to cut this down, fit it to here, and then I'm going to pull out the paper pad from Graphics 45 and the ephemera pack that I have as well, so that, I can start seeing the color scheme that this is going to take, so that then I can pull out some textiles. I know that these colors are maybe are different than the ones in the paper pad, but I think I can make them work and complement them okay. So first thing I'm going to do is, got to put this in water so it doesn't. That's my glue brush. I'm going to cut this down. And you'll hear my grandchildren. They happen to be around. So they'll come up to me and talk to me. I hope you don't mind. If you mind that, I'm really sorry. But this is just me having a play at my house on a Friday night. And my babies are here. And I want them here. So I've been working all week. I started back working. It is so interesting to have a job again. After not working for almost 6 months. But let me see how big this one was. Oh, it is 6 3/4. That's right. 6 3/4. And I'm actually going to use the edge of the folder to line this up. And then I'll trim it down. Reason being is I don't want to use the bottom part because the bottom part is what I cut, and that might not be as accurate as the factory cut side. There we go. Trim that. Make it nice and neat. And then this one is 8 tall. And I was looking, I usually will take boxes as I receive them, and I will prep them for books, for going in books and things. And I realized that a lot of the things that I had prepped, um, I had prepped a little too large as far as the spines. The spines are, 2 inches and sometimes 3 inches. And I'm thinking that those spines are way too large for some journals. And so I am having to come up with alternative ways. And after the challenge that this group had, the true junk journal made out of trash challenge, and I used envelopes in I used a piece of like junk mail on it to make the cover. I realized that I have been saving these bags because I've always thought they would be good. So if I'm gonna make any book from now on that is just one signature, I am gonna take advantage of the fact that I have these materials, and I'm gonna use these bags because I order out a lot. I'm not a good cooking mommy. My kids work, and sometimes I'll come home. I have like a 19-year-old and a 17-year-old. My 17-year-old always comes home, but the 19-year-old sometimes will stay the night at her friend's house or whatever. And so I end up making food because I'm used to having a lot of people at the house. So I end up making a lot of food that nobody eats, and it kind of upsets me. So a lot of times I will just order food for myself and let them fend for themselves as well. They both work at restaurants too, my 17-year-old and my 18-year-old. So a lot of times they'll just eat at work and not bother with the food I make. So once it happens to me during the week where they have decided not to eat at home, and I end up throwing away food, or I end up eating the same meal like 4 times in a row, I get pretty annoyed at them, and then I'll just order food for myself and be like, oh, if you're hungry, you better figure out. There's TV dinners here. So that's what happens. I know it's not very dedicated mommy situation, but I don't have to do that anymore. They're bigger. They kind of take care of themselves. They almost take care of me if I let them. And the thing that upsets me the most is having to throw away food. And I enjoy cooking for my family, but it upsets me to no end that my family is not eating my food because they're not here. So I'm sure that's something that most parents who are, transitioning from having small children to becoming empty nesters, which I will be in a couple of years, have to deal with that whole, And I guess maybe some families are like, no, we must have dinner together. But I really can't hold them to that because they both work. And yes, I'd like for us to have dinner together, but I don't want to have dinner at 2 o'clock in the morning every day. That's midnight snack time, not dinner time. So, that's my story, and I'm sticking with it. You know what? I don't like the way this is gluing. Let me use both my hands. And let me turn this upside down here so I can line it up with this corner of the paper. Okay, so that is lined up there. Maybe the paper's not cut very straight. That'll be a problem. Okay, so maybe I'll line it up to that line there, leaving a little bit of a gap, and then we'll trim the paper down later. I'm going to use my brayer. You know how Bob Ross talks about his happy little trees? Well, this is my happy little brayer. And that didn't glue down because I let the glue dry. So we're just going to have one big old soggy piece of paper here. If this paper is too soggy and it takes too long to dry, then I have to wait to mail this till at least Monday. Because I'm not going to put this wet thing in the mail and have it get all stuck to itself and do gross things. So, And I'm going to try really hard not to have Mod Podge on exposed areas like right there. Because remember, Mod Podge has a cure time. And I keep saying that, and people are like, oh no, it dries right away. Yes, it does dry right away. However, it is not fully cured till 4 weeks after it dried. So even though it feels dry, and it's dry to the touch, it is not fully cured yet. Okay. So we're just going to let that be for a minute, and let's glue the other side down. And I'm going to leave this open because I do have a bead of glue there. Let's clean that up too. So my throat is still a little funny. It is ridiculous. This is the cold that doesn't end. Yes, it goes on and on, my friend. My son tried to kill me by giving it to me. Let me just say, it has been miserable. Oh, look, I made a mess. Let's clean that up. Okay. And then he goes around telling the girls that he's my favorite just to annoy them. So he is a little entitled butt. But he will tease his sisters and tell them Mom loves me best. Well, let me tell you something, buddy. Right now, Mom is not in love with you. My daughter's here. She knows. She knows what's up. Oh no! My brush went to the bottom of the Mod Podge jar. Lord have mercy. And I just went ahead and I cleaned my Mod Podge brush in between the two parts of the bag on the inside. I am not going to reinforce that in there any further. I had left it open just in case I thought it needed more reinforcing, but I don't think so. I think that with these Manila envelopes, it will be secured enough that I don't have to do other things to it on the inside to ensure. Oh, I touched it. Y'all, this is gross. I'm making a mess. But my nails look pretty. Okay, sorry. Didn't mean to be... Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to leave this open. And I'm going to set this aside to dry. And then I'm going to pause here. I will be back. I'm going to dig out the Graphics 45 paper that is part of what I'm going to put in this journal.
You will see part
All right, I'll be back, y'all.
Soon. Please don't forget to share and subscribe to my channel and my Instagram. Bye!